Hi guys! So, the Backrooms movie, it's almost here finally, and I'm so excited. Ah! Ow. Ow. Gah. What? Damn it! Hi guys, so the Backrooms movie. It's almost here finally, and I'm so excited. It's been one of my most anticipated movies ever, as I've loved the YouTube series for a long time, and I've kept tabs on the movie ever since it was announced to be happening. Shout out the Backrooms movie updates account. So I'm very happy it's basically here. That said, with its release rapidly approaching, I wanted to make a video geeking out about it a little bit, and also talk about the concerns about the movie, like entities and levels and whatnot. I wanted to make this video a month ago actually, but there is a thing called procrastinate. Of course, spoiler warning for Kane Pixel's Backrooms YouTube series. First, I think honestly in my opinion Kane's Backrooms is one of the best renditions of the concept. I think the story is interesting and compelling and visually, graphically, it is beautiful. And it only gets better with each episode. Kane started making his Backrooms when he was like 16, 17, and that's beyond impressive. Now his Backrooms is entirely its own story. In a nutshell, what he adds is this company ASYNC Research Institute discovering the Backrooms, aka the complex, creating a portal to it called the Threshold, with the goal being turning it into a mass storage and residential space, to also be funded by, you guessed it, the government. And then you of course have the average people going missing, or even objects, because they of course either accidentally clip through into the Backrooms, or they find themselves accidentally entering it within an everyday space. Now there's people that are worried that the movie could have an annoying amount of entities and levels galore because of what they see on, say, TikTok. And I understand that for sure. I want to explain why that's definitely not the case. So for levels, there's not really a concept of levels in Kane's Backrooms. The familiar liminal space images you see in like found footage 1 are kind of just like a part of it as a whole. It all just kind of continues for miles and miles. The deeper you go through them, the more the rooms change and become less repetitive, and even replicates real life places like various houses or studios as seen in found footage 3.
And the more times it remembers something, the less it does.
Now, as for entities, Kane's Backrooms has max 2 types of creatures in it. There's the life form, also known as bacteria, and still life. And they're both used rather efficiently, I'd say. Not too much and not too little. Life form is seen in found footage 1 and 2, motion detected, and pitfalls. My most favorite episode, and highest rated on IMDb apparently. Still life has only shown up once so far, and it's in found footage 3. They give that sense of scary, suspense, and sense of danger. As in the original Backrooms post, it's written, and I quote, "God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, cause it sure as hell heard you," heavily implying there is something else in there with you. You just have no idea what it is, whether it's human or some other being. So while the idea of the Backrooms only being infinite rooms with no monsters is also good and scary in of itself, I find it confusing when people say it was never intended to have monsters, when the original post does imply that, or at least something in there with you. And I personally think the way Kane's Backrooms handles that is pretty alright. Their origins are theorized, but my theory is that the bodies of people that died in the Backrooms mutate into the life forms. As for still life, I don't fucking know, man. The Backroom seems to also kind of be alive itself, as it can apparently, spoiler, time travel people forward as it did with an ASYNC researcher in informational video, and the green glow seen in found footage 2, which is theorized to be the Backrooms expanding itself. Did you hear something? Now, I think I know how these concerns come about, because a lot of Backrooms TikToks, Reels, and videos you may see, they'll use a bunch of that Backrooms wiki stuff like the overabundance of levels and entities, like the most popular ones, like Smilers or Partygoers, or the almond water stuff. And there's levels and entities that I do like, actually, like pool rooms, or level 94. But there is so much. Kane's Backrooms is separate, and those videos and sometimes video games will incorporate elements from Kane's Backrooms like the async hazmats and the life form, which I think results in people not only having a bad impression of the Backrooms overall, but also conflating Kane's Backrooms with all of those kinds of videos, like the jet slide videos. I'm still confused by those till this day. So, that being said, rest assured, Kane's Backrooms is far less nonsense heavy and definitely focuses a lot on story, eeriness, the complexity, and charm of the Backrooms. Kane has also said the movie is 100% canon to the series and takes place in the same world. Async will of course be in the movie, but as stated by Kane, they will also not be a primary focus. Also look, the original image in the movie. He also said that if the movie does well, that there could be a sequel or an actual TV show.
I think there's a number of things I'm looking at right now. Backrooms, I would have a very hard time saying it's done. I guess that's what I can say, but I expect to be seeing a little bit more in the not-so-distant future.
He also said the movie is for every audience.
With this film in particular, we really wanted to find a version that would work for existing fans of my Backrooms series, fans of just Backrooms in general, because they are very distinct. No one really owns the Backrooms. There's just many interpretations. And then people who have never heard of the Backrooms. I think this film offers something for all of those groups, and I think it works well.
And I think it's great that Kane and A24 were able to make the movie like that for not only fans, but also for outside audiences to enjoy too. And if you haven't and you wish to, then I highly recommend watching the Backrooms YouTube series. There's a playlist for it and you can start there. And Little Red SM on YouTube has a great Backrooms recap and timeline video as well that you could check out also. Another series of Kane's that I recommend is The Oldest View. It is Backrooms-esque.
This is literally like the Backrooms.
It's basically about an underground mall that has been abandoned for years, and the series is based on a real, unfortunately now demolished, mall. Alright, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you for watching. Go watch Backrooms, out in theaters May 29th, and here's a list of international release dates as well. Oh shit.
Huh?